Lest we forget the story of Black Hawk. Hi, my name is Noah Peacock, and this is my Lest We Forget project. Details of the assignment. In this assignment, we were given the task of choosing a controversial figure from our area of study and providing a presentation that explores their historical significance and reconsiders the legacy they left before them in the 21st century. In this presentation, I will be telling you about the uprising and early life of Black Hawk, his stories and his battles and achievements, and how he contributed to our history today, and how he should be remembered today. My figure is Black Hawk, also known as Makatai Michikiakiak. He was a Sauk leader and warrior who lived in what is now the Midwestern United States. Autobiography of Black Hawk is the main source I used for all the information I got in this presentation. He wrote an autobiography and shared most of his life stories and battles. I believe this is very useful because most figures don't have autobiographies, so I figured this would give me the most information and context. Black Hawk's early life. Black Hawk was born in 1767 in the village of Saukenuk on the Rock River, which is now known as modern-day Illinois. He lived on the northern bank of the Rock River, where it meets the Mississippi. As he mentioned, that's where his ancestors' bones lay in his autobiography. His father was a well-respected and honored member of his community, being the tribe's medicine man. He healed people and provided care, so many people liked him. There isn't much information on Black Hawk's early life except for when he was 15. He joined his father in a raid against the Osage, a notorious tribe that dominated the area of modern-day Missouri. The fight against the Osage would result in Black Hawk killing and scalping his first enemy. Scalping is when they cut someone's scalp off, leaving the hair, and they kept it as a trophy. To the Indian people in the west at this time, being a warrior was the most respected thing you could be. A young man could not date or look for a mate until he proven himself in combat. It was also said that in his biography that unless you proved yourself in combat by either striking or scalping someone, you you had no voice in council and people wouldn't even listen to you. When Black Hawk scalped someone for the first time, this was a stepping stone for him to become a war captain, and he was immediately well respected in his tribe and land. He would go on to lead alpha raids at the age of 19. He led 200 men into battle against the Osage and personally killed 5 men. This would allow him to obtain an important role in the tribe following the death of his well-respected father. Although he didn't become chief right away, he was so well respected he led many battles and fought in different wars, and people looked at him as a chief. Black Hawk's launch into history. Black Hawk was known for being a war leader, or a captain of his actions. Then he was a tribal chief. He earned his credentials by leading raids and war parties in his youth. The main thing he is known for, however, was when he fought in the War of 1812 alongside the British. It first began when the Treaty of 1804 was created, which ceded 50 million acres of Sauk land to the United States. This treaty was not signed by respected people of power, so Black Hawk found this treaty to be null. He did not believe it was real. Black Hawk believed that land could not be owned or sold. He said that it does not belong to anyone, therefore no one has jurisdiction over it. Basically, what he meant by this was the land was everyone's and no one could control it. He believed that it belonged to nature and that anyone who chose to live on it could. Later in his life, around 65 years of age, he decided he was not going to live by the treaty and led a revolt believing he had help from British Canada and other tribes. His goal was to take back his homeland, and he did not want his people to have to move just because someone else said they did. Black Hawk joined the British in several engagements in the War of 1812. This would earn him and his followers the name the British Band. Thereafter, U.S. officials cultivated the cooperation of Keokuk, a rival chief who took what Black Hawk saw in his accommodationist approach to the government's demands that the Sauk and Fox honor the Treaty of 1804 and resettle across the Mississippi River in what is now Iowa. Black Hawk became the leader of the dissident Sauks and Foxes who refused to acknowledge the legitimacy of the treaty. In 1834, Black Hawk, who had been compelled to relocate to Iowa in 1830, led 1,000 Sox, Foxes, and Kickapoos, including women and children, back across the Mississippi to the disputed Illinois area with the intention of resettling there. Governor John Reynolds of Illinois called out the militia, and the U.S. government also dispatched troops to confront them. Black Hawk and his followers easily repulsed the Illinois militia in the war's first encounter, the Battle of Stillman's Run, and the Indians fared well in several other early conflicts. As the weeks wore on, however, the strength of Black Hawk's band began to wane. Expected aid from other tribes and bridges did not materialize, food supplies were quickly exhausted, and desertions, malnutrition, and illness took their toll. Black Hawk retreated northward through the Rock River Valley, and in the final battle or massacre at the Bad Axe River, in what is now Wisconsin, most of the Indians who were trying to make their way back across the Mississippi were slaughtered. Black Hawk escaped but surrendered shortly thereafter. This ended Black Hawk's story because after this he wasn't leading any more battles. How we should remember Black Hawk. Although he fought against the United States, we can learn very valuable lessons. He fought only to preserve his homeland and believed no one should be able to control the land. He saw the good in all people and believed we could live together, whether that be peaceful or not. He just believed that no one had the right to live in one place that other people can't. He fought for what was right no matter what. He also showed the power of true leadership. He didn't want control over his people or to be able to tell people what to do. He just wanted them to live on and be able to be prosperous and live where they have for many years. I believe if other nations would rule like this, it may be more peaceful. I also want to say that I feel like he's controversial or not really well known in history as he should be, just because he fought against the United States. Oftentimes, people from the U.S. believe whoever they fought against were bad, but in this case it wasn't. He just wanted to protect his people and the land that he had before we came. This is all my works cited. I got most of my information from the autobiography of Black Hawk, but I also used 2 more YouTube videos of experts who also read the autobiography to get more information and different ideas. This is my Lest We Forgot project, and thank you for listening. I hope we can learn history and realize that the people in our past can teach us a lot more than we can think.